What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Game Day with Trey. Of course, this is your host, Trey. And today, we're going to go ahead and kick off this NFL season with the matchup between the Baltimore Ravens visiting the Kansas City Chiefs. All right, so this game will be played on Thursday, September 5th at 8:20 p.m. East Coast time in Kansas City, Missouri. The line is currently Kansas City by 3, total set at 47. All right, so in this highly anticipated game between the Ravens and the Chiefs, several players are poised to make significant impact. For the Baltimore Ravens, all eyes will be on Lamar Jackson, who has consistently proven to be a dynamic force on the field. Derrick Henry's performance will also be crucial, especially given his impressive track record against the Chiefs. Zay Flowers and Mark Andrews are other key players who could turn the game on its head for the Baltimore Ravens offense. Now, as far as Kansas City's concerned, man, they got Patty Mahomes, man. Magic Mahomes remains a pivotal figure with his strategic playmaking and leadership, whereas he's got Travis Kelce at tight end, known for his reliable receptions, and will be another player to watch alongside Chris Jones. All right, now Chris Jones is going to be the central figure on that defense who's trying to repeat as a top 5 defense in the NFL. All right, so last season, Baltimore Ravens had the number 4 offense in the NFL, and Kansas City had the number 2 defense in the NFL. So Baltimore was averaging 27.7 points per game last season, whereas Kansas City averaged giving up 17 points per game. Now, when you look at how it flips into the inverse, when you look at Kansas City's offense was struggling last year, man. They were ranked 14th in the NFL and only scored 22.2 points per game. Now, that's not Patrick Mahomes-like ball, but last year Patrick Mahomes kind of showed us and proved to us that he can do more than just all the flashy stuff. He can actually matriculate the ball down the field. And I never questioned whether he could do that or not. Some people did, but I never questioned whether he could do that. And he really showed us that even without major weapons and people dropping balls left and right all over the field, he can still win a Super Bowl, man. Now, like I said, they had the number 14 offense in the NFL last year, but Baltimore had the number 1 defense in all of the NFL last year, giving up 16.2 points per game, you guys. And when you look situationally, as far as how these two teams matched up and how they played last year, situationally, on the road, Baltimore was 6-1 as an away team, straight up. But at home, Kansas City was just 5-4. Remember, they lost the first game of the year last year to the Detroit Lions on opening night. You guys, I think it was like 21-22 or something like that, 21-23. Real close game. You know what I mean? Now, and when you see Baltimore as an underdog last year on the road, they were 2-0. Okay, and as a home favorite, man. As a home favorite, the Chiefs were 5-4, like the same exact record that they got. Straight up, it's just 5-4. Like, it was a struggle for them, man. It was definitely a struggle. Then when you look against the spread, you look at Baltimore coming in as an away underdog. Once again, they were 2-0 last year, whereas as a home favorite against the spread, Kansas City was 5-4. So if they won, they covered. If they didn't win, they didn't cover. But that's because they were favorites at every game, guys. You know what I mean? Now, when you look as far as over-unders concerned, over-unders last year, as an away underdog, Baltimore was 2 to the over and 0 unders. You know what I mean? Whereas Kansas City was, as a home favorite last year, was 1 to the over and 8 to the under, guys. So just understand that Kansas City's defense was more than dominant last year. And with all that being said, and knowing how dominant that defense was last year, you got to understand that you got to kind of look at how these two teams are matched up in the last 10 times they played, man. So in Baltimore's last 10 games, they were 7-3. Okay, that's going into the playoffs, guys. They were 6-4 against the spread, 5 to the over, 4 to the under, with 1 push. All right. So in their last 3 games, which were all playoff games, or two of the games were playoff games. I'm sorry. They were 1-1 against the spread, and they had one under and one push. Line was set at 44 for both of those games that were in the playoffs. And then the third game, when they played Pittsburgh from the last game of the season, it went under 34. And of course, they lost that game, but they didn't even put their starters out there for that game, guys. Whereas Kansas City, in their last 10 games, they are 7-3, 6-4 against the spread, and 4 to the over, 6 to the under. And all that's including the playoffs. Now, when you look in the playoffs, they're on a 6 game, they're on a 6 game against the spread win streak right now, guys. And that includes the playoffs. And then when you look over under is concerned, over that 6 games, they went under 4 times, and they went over twice. Now remember, they are on their last 10 games, 4 to the over and 6 to the under. Why is this important? Because when you look at their last 10 games, head to head, when you're talking about Kansas City versus Baltimore, in their last 10 games, man, it's 5-5 even. It's straight up even against these two teams, man. And against the spread, Baltimore kind of got that. They're 6-4, so it's leaning Baltimore's way as far as against the spread, and it's been 5 to the over, 4 to the under, 1 push. Now we both understand, or we all should understand, how strong these defenses are after the numbers I just got been giving you guys, man. Knowing how strong these defenses are, knowing what's going to be what's at stake right now, as far as this is the first game of the year, people haven't really gotten a lot of live reps. Outside of Kansas City, because they play Patrick Mahomes in the preseason. So this game could kind of come out a little slow. Now I see that the defenses will be out here setting the tone. Offenses always have an advantage, at this point in time, or at least should have an advantage at this point in time. But in all actuality, when you're having these two teams come out, all that goes out the window right now, man. Like, all of that goes out the window. Because you're talking about two tough defenses, two great coaches, a rivalry game, two of the greatest quarterbacks in the league right now. It's a lot to ask when you're talking about making a wager on a game like this, man. All right, so as far as the QB stats in the last recent games, man, Lamar Jackson's averaging 212 212 yards a game in the last 2 games he's played. Those were both playoff games. He was averaging 7.2 attempts. He had 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. But then when you talk about Patty Mahomes in the Super Bowl game and the game against Baltimore, he's averaging 287 yards, 6.8 yards per attempt, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. And I believe that interception was in the Super Bowl. So Patrick Mahomes really doesn't give you much at all. So as far as how these two teams are looking out, and with the starters and the matchups that we will be looking at with Baltimore, I'm looking at the matchup between Nate Wiggins and Zay Flowers. Not Zay Flowers, but Nate Wiggins and Xavier Worthy. I'm sorry, guys. I'm really interested to see how this young man comes out here and shows us what he's going to do with all this speed he's got. I really think with all of my heart that young man is going to be very talented, and he could be the next Tyreek Hill in this type of situation. But Nate Wiggins is a great corner, man. Out of Clemson, he did a great job last year in his rookie year, and I think that's going to be an intriguing matchup. Another matchup I'm looking forward to paying attention to is Derrick Henry, man. Like, are we going to give Derrick Henry the ball? And how many carries is he going to get? Because, in this kind of offense, man, it could be a good thing and it could be a bad thing, depending on how the coach calls it. He really needs to lean on how he was calling plays when he was at Georgia, and lean on the run, man. So what else are we looking at in this game? As far as so as far as player props is concerned, man, when I'm looking at the Baltimore Ravens, I'm thinking that I definitely like the Mark Andrews anytime touchdown. That's plus 180 right now on Hard Rock. I'm definitely feeling the. Let's look at the passing yards real quick. So Lamar, they got him at 220 and a half. They got Patrick Mahomes at 266 and a half. I'll probably have to stay away from that passing yards, man. But then when we look at receptions, so who is going to record the receptions, 2+ receptions in this game? We got Rashad Bateman. I like him over 1.5. That's minus 375, but I really don't mess with that. So let's look at the 6+ receptions. 4+ receptions right here. All right, so 4+ receptions, 3.5 is minus 240 for Mark Andrews. Of course, you know Travis Kelce is going to be 3.5 minus 800, so you don't want to mess with that. I kind of do like Isaiah Pacheco with the 3.5 though. Out the backfield, man, he could see about four receptions in this game. I also like Isaiah Pacheco at an anytime touchdown. I really like Isaiah Pacheco at an anytime touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco for an anytime touchdown right now, you can get it at the Hard Rock for minus 110. You can also get Travis Kelce an anytime touchdown plus 100. I really don't see that one though. Well, he could get it, but I really don't think so, man. Xavier Worthy's plus 185. My leans for this game is definitely gonna be taking Baltimore with the points, man. Like I understand that this is the Kansas City Chiefs. They are dropping a banner, and that they're trying to prove a point, you know. And I'm not saying they won't win, but that 3 points is a lot. Like I actually might bump that up too to like 4.5. And if I bumped it up to 4.5, Baltimore plus 4.5. And you can't even get it right now, but Baltimore plus 3.5 you can get. That'd be a minus 140. But if you put Baltimore just regular plus the 3, then that's minus 115. So yeah, I like the Chiefs to win. Baltimore plus the 3. I definitely love the under though. The under is actually what I'm most likely gonna be playing in this game, guys. But I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments. I hope this information helps. I hope everything on the side helped as well. Welcome back to the NFL season, man. You will be seeing a lot more of me. Y'all have a blessed day. Stay safe. I'ma holler at y'all. I'm gonna see you at the window. Peace.